What's up, YouTube? What's up, Xtreme Gainz family? I'm Chuck. This is Xtreme Gainz. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Today is Wednesday, March 30th, 2022, and this is the Amc Gme and SPY Algo Exposed daily update and preparation video for tomorrow and beyond. Hope you had a great day in the market today. I know it was a down day, but I don't know if you played. I know in the Discord, some folks played the downside on a couple different tickers today and made some good money, so I hope you did as well. AMC finished today down 12.77%, down an additional 2.45% in after hours, trading at 25.05. On your screen is AMC and my snake Algo. And here it is. It fulfilled perfectly yesterday and today to the downside. I spoke to y'all in previous videos this week about my expectation or lack thereof of it continually. This was the last snake here of it continuously fulfilling to the upside. And when and if we diverted from that, that the new snake would print and take over. And it has done exactly that. Absolutely spot on for today, for yesterday and today. So there we are. There is what it is indicating potentially moving forward if it continues to fulfill itself in that manner, in that placement. Now the macro comparatives for AMC. I did the same thing again. There we go. Macro comparatives for AMC, two of them. One of which is from the macro descending wedge prior to the January 2021 run-up. That is the blue. And then the big brother, little brother fractal is the yellow. I'm going to move the blue. Here is the big brother, little brother fractal that goes hand in hand with what I was calling the downside snake in last night's video. And it fulfilled perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. It as well still goes hand in hand potentially with what we're seeing. It would be a little more compressed. Obviously, the movement up out of here, according to the snake, would look somewhat probably like that versus what this is looking like as far as a larger W after this box top. However, there it is. Looking at the chart with the box top pull of the third, you can see here that it would run us into what would be a potential good move to the upside, potentially after the W gets put in, whether it be a grind up or parabolic up there. It's definitely indicating an upside move from the pull of the third, looking at it like that. And what you can see here is that W being portrayed as well as in the previous yellow snake that I showed you. So that's what this macro comparative is indicating and projecting potentially moving forward tomorrow and beyond. As well, real quick, let me zoom out and show you all of this. This as well is a box top W setup on a more macro scale, and we're right here in it. And if we were to finish this out and get that third pull move up to this one on a smaller scale, it would create one big one. 1, 2, 3 inside of it, one big one, breakdown, and W. So that's what I'm looking at potentially for that moving forward. More of a generalized, zoomed out perspective of all of those movements. Now, the macro comparative for the macro descending wedge prior to the January 2021 run-up. This is how I had that prior to today. And this was going hand in hand, the blue with the blue snake last night, calling for more upside. And that did not fulfill in that manner. So, my question to you is, could it be something like that that fulfilled today with this? Because this has given us a projected path and fulfillment of that path literally almost the entire last 10 months of this macro descending wedge. So it's nothing that's invalidated at this time because of that. We didn't invalidate it, and I didn't invalidate it when it didn't fulfill to the price level in which the run up here indicated. And I got to looking at this, And when you look at the big brother, little brother W formation that would come potentially starting tomorrow and moving on, and then you look at the macro comparative from prior to the January run up, look at the similarities in the paths that are projected by both of these when overlapped. Very similar. So I'm looking at it like that right now, potentially moving forward. Although we don't have the blue snake to go to the upside right now, that's fine. It invalidated that. From a macro comparative perspective, obviously I can't look at it this way, so I'm going to look at it in this manner right now, as it would indicate potentially the same path or suggested path for a period of time leading into tomorrow and beyond. So that's AMC in a nutshell. GME. Here is the snake for GME that is similar but a little nuanced from the AMC snake. It led or projected and fulfilled today as well. Its indication moving into tomorrow and beyond, as you can see on the screen, it appears to me about a little bit of consolidation. Again, a W formation in here. If I have this correctly, this one's a little bit different. It was a little bit harder to kind of get placed and decide where I think it needs to be, the stretch on it, everything else. So I may have to make some adjustments, and you all know that for my peeps that have been here. Sometimes these things need to be adjusted as we go a little bit to compensate for an inability to know exactly how far they need stretched and yada yada. But like I said in previous videos, I've done rather well with keeping up with that for the most part, but that's what that's indicating. Again, same as the last one, I have no weighted conviction whatsoever as to the entire thing fulfilling itself but it's going to follow until it diverts, and then that's when I'll clip the next one, just like I just did with these last ones that were indicating upside, and then we diverted and I clipped this one, and here we go, getting projection and fulfillment out of it. So that is the snake for GME. The macro comparative that I had was similar to this, but it was a little larger. Again, it's indicating essentially the same thing as the snake would be indicating to a certain extent here with this move to the downside, which we just got, the W formation before moving back upside to some extent. Obviously, there's a little diversion between the two of them, but that is a macro comparative that I am looking at potentially for GME as well. Now, SPY. I went ahead and copied and clipped the long-term version that I was speaking to you about in the last couple videos on here. So the previous extended version of the SPY macro comparative is the red. Like I said in the video, we diverted from it to the upside to some extent yesterday. And right here's our price action yesterday and today. It did curl back over here, and I said it would need to do that really soon here and fulfill this hard downside move. And then obviously the generalized perspective of macro movements, continuation to downside pretty heavy after that. It is starting to do that, so I'm going to leave it in its place for now. That's what's indication going into tomorrow, downside for the extended version and extended placement macro comparative. The long-term one that I showed you. By the way, if you're new here, this is a macro clip from the 08, 09 leading up, 07, 08, 09 macro comparative from prior to the correction and crash of 09 on top, and just two different placements of that. The long-term one is the blue, and it's going to be something I go over nightly here with everybody as well. Here is the projection for it. Obviously, it looks like potentially some short-term, maybe some short-term upside, followed by continuation to downside tomorrow. And then obviously the macro overview or macro perspective of those movements are continuation to upside to potentially all-time highs. And the 2+ week snake that we have been following from 2 Tuesdays ago and it was right there. In my opinion, we're still following it to a certain extent. Obviously, this curl over worries me a little bit about this snake. I will go ahead and look at potentially clipping another one, and we'll look at it tomorrow morning before market open during the live stream. But for that snake, obviously, to stay valid, I would want to see a hard upside move starting tomorrow, and to see a continuation to upside as it's indicating. All right, y'all. That is what I have for you. Oh. There it is. Almost lost it. That's all I have for y'all today. I appreciate it if you made it to the end of the video. Do y'all's thing. Like the video, comment, interact with the video. I would greatly appreciate it. A quick reminder, I will be live here tomorrow morning starting at 9 a.m. for market open to market close, like always. So I will see you all then. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you all mañana. Later.